South. I'd like to call the meeting to order. And first, get a hand approval of the minutes from the January 22nd meeting. All who approve, raise hands.
Well, I motion to approve. And
Motion to approve.
Second, please. Thank you.
Thank you. And, okay, Hayden, do you approve? Okay. You're a player here. Thank you. I think that was unanimous. Public comment. Anyone wish to speak into the microphone?
Hi, I'm Amber Atwood-Levy, Executive Director for Radnor Conservancy, and I just wanted to pop over or take a minute and just applaud and thank you for this fantastic educational series that is going on here at the EAC. It's really wonderful. And my question was, if there are any graphics or if anyone can make anything that can be shared for these upcoming classes and events, I would really be happy. I shared them with our members on our email distribution, but I'd be happy to put some things up on social media because I know you guys don't have your own page.
Yes.
And so if you have anything that you could send my way, I'd really be very happy to advertise for you a little
Thanks,
bit.
Anne. We do have those prepared
Awesome.
already. I think for everything through the first one in May. Cool. So we can forward them to you, and they're in like a 1x1 square for Instagram already.
Perfect. Yeah. Would you prefer, do you want me to share them independently, or is there a feed somewhere that you would like me to share to kind of help cross-pollinate so that something that is already in existence is getting more views?
We don't have a regular,
okay.
We've asked the township to create the Facebook events, and that hasn't been continual.
Everybody has, every municipality, I feel like, has their different challenges in trying to get things out there for sure. So yeah, happy to. If you want to send those my way, I can schedule them out and just so that more people can know. That's all.
Donnell, right. It's true that the township doesn't advertise a particular lecture until a month ahead of the lecture. So it doesn't post an ad until a month ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then my point was we had one that became an actual Facebook event, which would be very easy for the Conservancy to share, right? A link to that.
Yeah.
We haven't had that happen again.
Okay.
So it's fine if you post it
as just the image?
Standalone image, yeah.
Perfect. I'm happy to do that.
And it's just register on our website kind of thing.
Awesome. Easy.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Anyone else? Okay. Announcements. The Great Backyard Bird Count was completed 2 days ago. I unfortunately did not participate because I couldn't get my computer to load eBird, so I couldn't register my sightings. But I hope somebody here participated.
You can still register your sightings, though.
Oh, outside of the
Yes, I think you still
window?
Yes.
Oh, good.
You just post the date and the time and location.
Okay.
Yeah.
Press your mic when you need to speak because the feed won't pick it up.
Right. So Dan, you can still post your sightings.
Okay.
Just
well,
based on the
hear.
date, location,
right.
and time.
Thank you.
Sure.
Eco Camp. I saw an announcement on the township website supported by Delaware County 4-H and the Willows Park Preserve. It's for children 5 to 7 years old, unfortunately not for me. And it runs from August 4th to the 8th, 9 to 12 p.m., 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's being held at the Willows Mansion, and you can sign on through Willows Park Preserve, I guess, .com. I think if you just type in Willows Park Preserve, you'll get a URL for that organization and sign on through there. There is an updated draft of the Radnor Township's comprehensive plan. It covers basically the roadmap for the township for the next 10 years in terms of its development and restraints put on development that have included considerations from the EAC and the Green Team for ensuring the environment is protected as we progress in laying out our future.
Excuse me, Dan.
Yeah.
We're trying to follow you, and we're wondering, where are you? Because I
Oh.
don't see you on the agenda.
It's under announcements. I didn't post, because announcements are right up front in the agenda. You see, Carol, on the first page of the agenda?
There's nothing under announcements. He's
Yeah,
just
but-
saying these are part of the announcements.
okay.
Right.
So we haven't moved on to ongoing business yet.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know what the final announcements will
Okay,
be. I
all
won't
right.
post them in the agenda. Anyone else have announcements about goings about town of a environmental nature? Okay. There's something that Melissa wanted to put in, Environmental Advisory Council reorganization, designation of chair. And when I first saw that, I said, well, am I getting kicked downstairs here or what? And she said, no, it's nothing. It's just that you've apparently been blessed to continue. And I have no idea who is blessing me, but if it's the people sitting here, thank you.
No, I
Anyway,
don't, I think it was just the commissioners.
the commissioners,
Yes.
okay, so they've gotten a good feedback, I guess. I haven't heard anything from Kathy. Just on that, kind of on that note, is John Rice, our township solicitor, emailed me in January to confirm that if we have a online meeting, a Zoom EAC meeting, as we did last in January because of the cold weather, we can still carry out votes. And as long as it is publicly broadcast through Ian, then we are able to hold votes and have them.
Were we unsure about that?
Yes, we were.
Oh, I knew that we could. I didn't know when that came up.
Okay.
But we held votes through many virtual meetings, and long after COVID too, for
Yeah.
some time, so,
Good,
yes.
good. All right, so who knows when we will meet our next environmental challenge to consider a Zoom meeting. Okay. Ongoing business, municipal energy conservation and electrification. Melissa said there's really no updates to the energy use upgrades to the municipal buildings or to getting set up the charging stations, the LED streetlights, or the building energy use benchmarking. So all of these are obviously exciting developments within the municipality itself that we will want to further explore and get updates on and share them with the community. Native perennial plantings. This is really an effort that Sven Dethlefs, who is present, has championed recently, and Carol, you are the lead on this from the EAC. Could you update us?
Well, Sven, do you want to give the information on the plants?
Yes, is this switched on? Yes.
Yep.
So my name is Sven Dietlefs. So the planting will take place, or the donation of plants for planting will take place end of April. I think it was April 29, or
Well, no, we're going to do Saturday, right?
Saturday. Yeah.
Isn't that what we usually do, Dan, on a Saturday?
Yes.
Yes, it's a Saturday.
So if we do it on the 26th,
26.
that's the same week as Earth Day, And it's like the weekend before is Easter, so we don't want to be doing it on Easter. So I guess if everybody's in agreement, we'll select that date.
The 25th, 6th, 6th, okay. 26th, Saturday.
Right.
Good. As far as I can tell, I would just inform Melissa and Peggy, the Township Executive Administrator, Peggy Hagan. Just inform them that we're going to do that.
So it would happen on April 26th. We will
Right.
do it outside of this building, where
Yes.
the tree giveaway is also happening. I will order the plants, or let's say organize, Daniel, with you ordering the plants from a nursery of our choice. I have to talk to the nursery which plants are available for planting end of April, because normally the selection in spring is a little bit more limited than in summer. And then we will have a nice selection of roundabout, let's say, four to six different perennials, 10 per household. Normally, when I order them from the New Moon nursery, they arrive either on Wednesday or on Friday, so there's enough time to take them out of the tray and put them in these paper bags. And the idea would be the people come up, drive here to this roundabout, get their bag. They don't even need to leave the car and can leave. And in the bag, we will have a little planting guide and what did they get and what do they need to do with these plants. And I have a lot of seeds also left over from a different initiative, so we can put some seeds to it. And then I think everybody has enough for a good square yard of biodiversity. And that would be the plan.
Great. So, Carol, do you have a vendor you're thinking of? Would
Well,
it be-
I think we should use the vendor that Sven has been using.
That's
Comfortable
New
with it.
Moon,
Nursery.
New Moon,
Yes.
okay. And you would use all of the 4,000 that was secured by Kathy last year, $4,000?
Let's see what we get with the $4,000. If we need more money, I would donate it to the Radnor Conservancy
Oh,
and we
thank
order
you.
more plants. Yeah?
So Sven, we'll also need paper bags
I will organize everything, paper bags and the plants.
and then something to put seeds in.
And the seeds, I also already have that as well. I just need to design this leaflet that informs everybody. I know that last time we talked, Melissa wanted to help out there, or Bess.
Also me.
Okay, then we do that together, and then we go from there. One question I had on this leaflet, of course, if everybody comes and takes up plans, typically you're intrinsically motivated to do something good. We could, of course, inform them not only about these plans, but also about other things that the township offers or does, or you could do this year. Yeah? So I noticed, for example, I think on the website of the township is something that you could call the township to ask them to have a tree planted in front of your house. I think it was hidden somewhere in the website. And I was actually not aware of that. So there are many things we could make people aware
Yes.
on this leaflet, so we can think a little bit about it, what we
You-
write there.
You're thinking of a flyer to be put in the bag with
Yes.
the plantings?
Yes.
Certainly, we could sell the eco-friendly yard program
Yeah, I
through
think
that.
that is actually an agenda item, and I think that this is the perfect
Yep.
way to advertise the eco-friendly
Yep.
yard program. So, Sven, are you familiar with it?
No?
Okay, so I'm surprised because you've been around so much and we've talked about it a lot, but it is a recognition for eco-friendly yards in the township. There aren't like very detailed criteria because we want it to be an encouragement thing, right? So if you have, there's kind of like a list of like less turf grass, more native plantings, no pesticides, you don't rake your lawn, that kind of thing. Might do some rainwater collection. We actually have these adorable flags that we award to members of Radnor Township that qualify for this after one of us goes to visit their property and gives them the stamp of approval. And I think we've given dozens, if not maybe 50 or 60 of these flags
You
away.
have one?
I have one. I think it's not called an eco-friendly yard award. It's something like eco-friendly yard award. Or?
Yeah, eco-friendly yard
Yeah,
award.
he has one in
Yeah.
his yard.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have one. Yes.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, Sven, I swear you've heard of this program.
I heard ego, not eco.
Eco, yes,
Eco.
eco-friendly yard. So that, if we can add that onto the flyer, or maybe some additional piece of paper or whatever, we can provide the
Yep.
other information that goes along with that to make sure that people who get these plantings then can apply to have their flag.
Are you volunteering, Donnell, to create the flyer?
Well, I think Bess had been
Oh,
volunteering.
Beth.
I will
Yes.
organize everything with Bess.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and we already have the guidelines for
Yeah.
what you need to meet the
It's all on the
criteria for an
website.
eco-friendly yard, and I think we already have a flyer from
Yep.
years past, so you could just incorporate that or put that on the back of the, the leaflet that you're creating
And
with
at
the info.
the past giveaways, we always give information on that. We have the flyer there, and as people are picking up their plants, we talk them through what it takes to get the flag. So,
Yes.
yeah, it's, but one more logistic question. So just looking, so if we do it on the 26th, we have to pick a day to get everything prepared, and the Sunday before, that weekend is Easter, so what do you suggest?
I would just do it the day before.
So that Friday, the 25th?
Yes.
I can
It's not-
offer
it's
my
not that
house
much work.
if you need space. I have a table and all for making stuff into bags, and so we can talk about that later. But I'm just behind the train station in
Yes.
Wayne.
I think we will get this organized.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
My other I have two quick questions, just because I may have missed the meeting where we started talking about this. In years past, the township has sent around a sign-up, so whoever wants to
right.
reserve, unless you're talking about you have enough for 10 plants for every single household in Radnor, normally?
No.
I didn't think so.
They need to sign
Normally,
up.
we have like a set number, and
Right.
then the township, I think last year and in years past, sent out a blast that basically said, if you want to sign up to get a native plant, fill, and then when it's full, it's full.
And we checked off their names?
No, Melissa would have to do that,
Well,
so.
that's
yeah.
what I wanted
Yeah.
to raise. We need to, that logistically, someone, I guess Melissa's the right one, needs to just set that up, but we need to be able to tell her
How many?
how many, and, work out the timing, I guess,
I
with,
want to say, was it like 200 or something?
Well,
I don't know, but I can look and
It-
see whatever we did last time, I don't know.
it'll depend on the cost of the plugs.
Well, and how many you can get, so,
Yes.
you just have to give a number so that they know to sign up, so that people, we have
So
enough.
it's Melissa who is doing the sign-up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
good.
Yeah, the
So-
township
Yes.
set up that. And then my other question was, you said we'd be giving out the native, your plantings as well as the trees?
No, the trees
That's.
No,
giveaway is always in fall. It's not related
Okay,
to this.
I thought,
Yeah.
okay, that's,
There's that, the township has that tree giveaway?
yes.
Well, that's
I just
Radnor
wanted to, I thought he
Conservancy,
said we were also giving out trees, but that's a
It
separate.
just follows the same
Just for the-
model.
Yep,
yeah.
okay, got
So
it,
Jane,
thanks.
can I count on you to communicate with Melissa about getting the sign-up set up?
Yep. Yes,
And
I will.
provide her with
I
that.
just made a note.
Maybe you guys get a cost of your plugs right now, to estimate how many bags you can make.
Yeah, I will do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Anything else that we need to?
Discuss? No, I think it's,
No,
it
that's
should
great.
be
Thank you,
straightforward.
guys.
Good, thank you.
And Sven, you'll be hopefully official at the March meeting.
Next week, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. So we'll see you on this side in
The
March.
commission sent me an email next week, February 24. They have another meeting to
Yes.
confirm that.
yeah. Good luck. Don't-
We'll be pulling for you.
There's also another candidate, which we'll get to. Okay, public education. In the agenda, there is the current list of presenters in our EAC lecture series, starting with Rebecca Yurkovic tonight. And Bess Yates has offered to contact Phil Forsyth of the Philadelphia Orchard Project to see if he would be interested in presenting a lecture on setting up a food garden, vegetable garden, which I'm sure would be very interesting. So good luck to Bess. Also listed is the Haverford EAC workshops. Most of those are virtual. You can access them through the Haverford EAC website. And moving on to our print media, the Radnor News Community Newsletter. We now have a contact from Eugenia, who unfortunately has been promoted within Shade Tree and resigned from EAC recently. She gave us contacts within Radnor News and the Suburban Life for submitting our new articles. In the winter, there'll be the role of Radnor Township Environmental Advisory Council in the Radnor News newsletter. And we just submitted through Eugenia the recycling guidelines for Radnor Township based on the October presentation by Charles Noble of Republic Services. Suburban Life, Diana Pope's wonderful piece on English ivy, endangered to trees, is being published in Suburban Life. I think this winter. I don't subscribe.
I think it was already in the fall, actually. I saw it.
Oh, was it in the fall?
think
Okay,
so.
I was getting
I can
conflicting
send that to
messages.
you all.
Good. So this body has to think, giving an action item to my EAC and anyone else here, what would be a good publication for the spring issue?
Do we know what the date is for the spring issue?
No. I can contact Phil Donahue to get the deadline.
Yeah, I think the deadline and the publication date, like maybe we can get a table going of
Yep.
all of them, and, because I'm getting a little confused about which one was when, but I think this would be a great chance to highlight, either talk about the ability to sign up for the native plants, depending on the publication date, or a report of how many native plants were given away, and then again highlighting the eco-friendly yard sign program. It's a
Okay.
great time, like, we're, of course, want to give away these signs and recognize people's yards. And I'll say for those of you who aren't familiar with the program, people very passionately nominate themselves, their husbands, and whoever else in their life. People are very serious about this program. And it is very sweet to read how hard people are working on their lawns. So although it might seem a little frivolous, it is been very good for the community. So I think that that would be a great way to either highlight what's coming up for the native plant giveaway, or to reflect on it and then again promote the eco-friendly yard sign.
You're suggesting for Suburban Life?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, anything, like we can write one article for multiple publications.
Well, being magnanimous, Amber, would you, we could just put a tickler in for the fall Radnor Conservancy tree giveaway as well. Just put people on notice that if you like getting plants, you can get trees in the fall. Yeah, definitely, yes. Okay. Okay.
We are definitely going to be doing that program again this year, coming, and I think we're going to stay along the lines of the Tree-tober vein that we've been doing, and thinking about expanding it, but we're also looking to turn that into more of a community event too.
Great.
So, yeah.
And that would be around October?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. In the fall, good tree planting time.
Right.
All right.
Okay, who would like to take a stab at the eco-friendly yard program draft of the article?
I mean, Bess, if you're writing the pamphlet,
Sure.
or we have 3 people involved, so if we can just capitalize on you guys working, I'm not meaning to
Yeah.
volunteer you, but I don't know if we need to get 4 people involved.
And we already have, we
Yeah.
have a flyer, so it's not like.
Yeah,
Well, we
Yeah.
actually have the article that I think Donnell, you provided
Yeah.
from when Margie was president, so.
Sure. And I have one in my yard also, so I can speak to it.
Oh, you can
From-
take a picture too.
Yes, yes.
Yes, great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, that was a problem, because we submitted all of these pictures to Melissa of all of these flags being
Yes.
presented, and for some reason, they were never.
One, they were very, very low quality. We need to like take it with an iPhone or something.
But
They were like-
They were taken with iPhone.
Oh, I don't know. And then there was like the issue of, did these people approve to have the photo of their yard published? So I think Bess, you'd be okay with the photo of your yard being, or Sven.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because it is nice to have a photo.
Now, Sven or Carol, would you like to draft, one of you or both of you draft the native plant giveaway scheduled for?
Yeah, I think we just need to know when the publication is, so it can either be an advertisement or a reflection, like a report. So Dan, if you can find out about that first, too.
Is that okay?
Okay.
It would not be more than a few sentences.
It's like
So
200.
giving
That
us-
is for the website of the township, to announce the
No.
plant giveaway, or what
No,
is it?
this is for a publication called Suburban Life. They allow us to post an article in the publication every quarter that they do it. And so we always look for ideas for what we're going to publish. So depending on the publication date, we could either use it to advertise for the native plant giveaway, or reflect on how many plants were given away, what were given away, and then advertising for the eco-friendly yard program.
So when is the next publication?
That's what Dan has to figure
Yeah,
out.
I'm going to get that to
But we
you.
just need you guys to agree that you'll draft the 500-word article.
No problem, you get a
Okay, thank you.
500-word article. Yeah?
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah.
great, thank you,
working on
guys.
that, too.
And now I assume Suburban Life, I mean, you're going to get people from outside the township wanting to pick up a plant. I'm thinking, is that problematic?
I mean, they have to be residents. I don't think it's an issue, though, to advertise, or to reflect on what we're doing, and hopefully other townships will pick up on it and also do it. Lisa?
Let me just say, I think that the money's from the township, so it has to be a township resident.
No, yeah, I agree with that. I'm just saying there's not a problem with talking about what the township's doing in a broader
Yeah.
publication.
Okay, but we'll have to specify in the article that only township residents get the free plants. Okay, because it's township money. Okay, earth-friendly tips. Bess and I and others have made comments on my draft smart salting article on sidewalks, and it is going to be posted in earth-friendly tips, thanks to Ian and Melissa, hopefully before this cold weather disappears, which I don't think it will soon. Guys, we need to think about other venue for advertising. I've often gone to Radnor Patch and found it's very topical and stuff. I know, I forget who it was. Lisa, did you have a hard time? Or somebody had a hard time contacting Radnor Patch?
I think Eugenia did.
Huh?
Eugenia.
Eugenia.
Eugenia,
had
I
her
think, was
done.
having a hard time, that's right. So let's consider articles, either adding something like Radnor Patch to our postings. Diana?
So I just looked at the League of Women Voter Environmental Clearinghouse website, and the EAC is there under government, and then you have to go to your website, and then you have to know
Yes.
to click that banner at the top, which is not at all intuitive, that then finally gives you the information of your events. But the website itself has events, and actually what's posted for today's date
Yep.
is the Haverford EAC's talk about solar something or other. So
Right.
you can pull out your events and ask them to be posted for the calendar on that environmental clearinghouse. Now, there's not a huge amount of traffic there, but it makes it much easier when you open the page and look at events to see, oh, there's something happening, tomorrow
Yes.
night, and there it is. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diana.
We did a great video last year on the eco-friendly yard sign. You know how they do like the around town? And either if we could repost it or do that again. We actually got a lot of, just on different advertising avenues, we actually got a lot of response after that video was posted. So maybe we can talk to Melissa, I guess, or Kathy, you can prompt another around town video on that program. Yeah.
Okay.
I reached out to the Radnor Township Instagram page, and I asked them if they would consider promoting the eco-friendly yard sign.
The townships?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like the Radnor Township Instagram, and then because a lot of residents, all of my neighbors and my friends and our families all follow it, so I feel like it would be a good place to advocate for the eco-friendly yard program.
And we have asked Molly and the township to post on the Instagram, but what has been posted is it's like every single time we have to ask, so. But we do have an official way to ask too.
That would probably be more effective than.
So we can, when we get ready for the native tree planting, hopefully we can, put something about that on Instagram as well. But the Instagram does tend to favor, the closure updates and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I think you could also put maybe a link to the article. It would make it very accessible to people who I don't know.
I agree with you.
Okay, I see an action item coming up, but I need a body to go with it. Who wants to ensure this happens? We're
I've
talking
tried
about
too many times.
Okay, thank you, Donnell. This is a broadcast online ad campaign for eco-friendly yard program. And again, we do have the article. If you want a more fleshy article, we have the article that Margie wrote.
Did we ever
that
get the
was sent to
number of
everybody.
signs from Margie that have already been given away?
I can forward the article to you again if you want.
No, I have that. I just didn't know if the number of signs that have been given away were. I know we had
I know, we
intended
keep
to ask
asking.
Margie.
I'd say it's in the tens, but.
Yeah, it would be
I
good to
could-
know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll send her a note.
And I have a bunch at my house. I ordered some a year ago.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Donnell. Okay. This is the Sisyphus in the rolling the log up the hill, the gas leaf blower phase out. This, of course, is I think one of the objectives, long-term objectives of this council is to work a municipal or regional ban that would be phased in on gas leaf blowers, not only because of their noise, but because of their extreme air pollution. And I talked with Public Works, Ricky Foster, on the 21st of January, because I think some of us agreed that if we can work with Public Works to get them to use electric leaf blowers in some capacity, that would go far in convincing residents and the commissioners that this is a feasible thing to do. The bottom line from the meeting with him is that the current technology for backpack blowers is not meeting their performance requirements. The batteries run out within 30 to 40 minutes, whereas a gas unit can run for almost an hour or longer. So that being said, they are considering handheld leaf blowers for more manageable tasks. They are also looking at hedge trimmers, chainsaws, push mowers, and a pole saw as electric items to purchase over the next few years. All of this, because of the greater cost of these items, may require commissioner approval. So there's a lot of suspension in this area and for later developments. But planning for success, I'm going to ask my colleagues here and anyone in the audience to advise us on how to proceed. My hope was that we could get the backpack leaf blowers electrified at Public Works, so then we would be able to leverage their adoption by commercial landscapers. And also would very easy to get private citizens, homeowners to use the smaller units. In the absence of that, we have to consider other avenues, I think. So maybe not at this meeting, but we should please get back to me by email what your ideas are. Stakeholder meetings, of course, are something that should be considered, as well as surveys, although I feel surveys are very biased towards those who choose to respond. And just like our political surveys, they can misdirect you. So we may have to do more aggressive, maybe even door-to-door canvassing of representative household, if we're brave enough to do that. So I hear us, see if
I can just share. So Media Borough is also tackling
Rebecca,
this.
introduce yourself.
Oh, sorry. Hi, everyone. I'm Becca Yurkovich from the County Sustainability Office. Media Borough also is tackling this issue, and the one kind of baby step they've been able to make is by tackling it through the noise ordinance. Mm-hmm. So they actually were able to restrict hours that leaf blowers were used, and they did it so primarily as a small win, so they're not being used when kids are walking to school, because there was a lot of concern of like emissions when kids are actively walking through these areas. Mm-hmm. So looking at nuisance ordinances like the noise ordinance may be a way to at least kind of restrict it during heavy times.
Yes, thank you.
Sure.
I have an idea.
Speak.
Oh, sorry. I have an idea. I was just wondering if it would be possible for the townships to maybe like subsidize like the purchase of like these leaf blowers, like the ones that are less noisy, because you mentioned cost was an issue.
Yes, I've heard of that. You're saying subsidize residents purchasing electric blowers or commercial? Okay. Yeah, that certainly is something to consider. What do you think, Kathy?
I think we have a tight budget.
Yeah.
I think we had discussed that the first step would be to get the township itself to start converting over, because it's kind of, I don't know, that just seemed like the logical first step before we start asking residents to phase out their gas blowers. We could at least have the township set the standard and then be working with the commercial operations to do the same. So I think that's something we can think about in the future, but we're still at the very, very beginning of the bigger process, I think.
But I think that the noise restriction, that's a first step.
Yep.
That's like a baby
Yep.
step.
Sorry, I just thought of another idea while you were saying that too. I think part of it that an EAC could maybe do is more so like doing a Leave the Leaves campaign, where it's more so encouraging people to leave their leaves for pollinators and over the season, because if you kind of eliminate the reason why they need to blow, that could also kind of be a way of at least kind of cutting usage.
Yeah, we have in years past talked about the No Mow May initiative. I don't think we've ever done anything as the EAC to, like we haven't created any leaflets from what I remember, but I know we've discussed No Mow May and wanting to incorporate that into our eco-friendly yard campaign.
Ooh, maybe that can be a late summer educational lecture.
Late spring?
Or no, I meant for the
fall.
leaves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even if we're going to have the heat again this summer, like talking about grass dormancy. But I was just going to make a very similar comment. So, hi, I'm Amber. I'm also the vice chair of the Tredyffrin EAC, for those of you who don't know. And we are involved in these same conversations. Tracy Viola is one of our EAC members who's been on the calls for these leaf blower. And I think there's conversations at a Commonwealth level on buyback or incentives and stuff like that to help with this transition. But asking questions about, do we have spaces where we can leave our leaves? Do we have ways to go over them to compost them back into the grass? Not our favorite option, but a second best option, because at least we're capturing carbon and keeping it on our properties, right? So if we are asking those questions for our public works teams, as well as our residents, if there's just ways that we can, obviously safety is important too, but if we can we're having the same conversation and, do we need to remove all of these leaves? Are there other places that we can toss them so that they can break down naturally and, not need to blow them out of the way as much? Yeah, because it's tough. We're all trying to find ways to reduce these leaf blowers and all of these engines now that we appreciate just how toxic they are. So, but that was.
Well, that's.
So the idea in part is. Right. Part of the question can be can we leave them? Yeah. Where can we toss them? Yeah.
Do you have leaf pickup, like yard waste pickup in Tredyffrin every week? It's just yes or no, so I can make my.
We have private trash and recycling in Tredyffrin as one of the only list of 10 in the Commonwealth that do that. So we have a whole separate can of worms there.
Okay. So I brought that up because I think it's, the yard waste pickup is such an attractive part of living in Radnor Township because it's every week. But I sometimes think that encourages people to blow their leaves because somebody picks it up off of their curb every week. So we're kind of, caught a little bit there. But I do like the idea of the Leaves campaign and maybe picking some public places in Radnor where it would be appropriate to do that and using them as an example.
Okay, I see another action item. We need someone to draft an article on alternatives to picking up your leaves and giving them to your curb.
Dan, I can help with that.
Okay. Thank you.
It will be a long time before that's relevant for the public. Can we have your name?
Yes, Roberta Winters. Would you be kind enough to get the cost that the township claims that these new pieces of equipment would require? Because I think we have people in our township and perhaps organizations who could do some fundraising and maybe set an example for the rest of the world.
Oh, thank you, Roberta. Yeah, I've heard at least for the backpack blowers, they would have to purchase 4 batteries in addition to the battery that comes with the unit for it to give a day's worth of work. So they're saying it could cost up to $1,000 or $1,200. Yep, and it would be great if. Roberta, should I email you and get more information about people who would be willing to fund this. The thing is, we're not getting far with the commercial, or with the public works right now. Okay, all right. It would be great if we could do it at township-wide support. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we need somebody to draft an article on what to do with your leaves besides give them back to the town. And I'm hearing no mow May, I'm hearing mulching with your lawnmower, I'm hearing, or just leave the leaves. Hi, this is a passionate topic, I can tell.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Mira.
Thank you. Can we have your full name, please?
Mira Shapiro.
Thank you.
Oh,
I just wanted to basically echo an idea that I already heard that I thought was really great of making an example of certain spaces in Radnor where we're not mowing, because there are so many beautiful places here. I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head, but it's definitely something I'd love to have multiple, people and places exploring that idea. Or even places that already do that, highlighting those places perhaps in an article and as like a resource list for people to get inspiration.
on that point, I got an email recently from Tammy Cohen, who runs the Parks and Rec Department, and she is having her team evaluate all the 400 acres of parkland in this township for areas where they could cut back on the mowing and basically let nature proceed. So it kind of dovetails with your idea, but I think you're talking about something beyond that in terms of leaf management as well. So
Someone, I don't know who, I forget who was, already brought the idea, but I wanted to just echo it because I thought it was such a good one. And then, creating some kind of resource list if people are looking for inspiration for how to do that in their own yards of, hey, here's an example of this at Chanticleer or at, this park where we're not mowing.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
So-
Before we, Sven, just 1 second. We have 10, 12 minutes.
I know.
Okay.
But I need someone to draft an article on the alternative ways to manage your leaves for the township.
I would be happy to do that, Dan.
Bess, thank you.
Yes.
It's Sven Dieters again. I had a discussion with Ricky from the township, and I think it was Steve that is doing the lawn mowing, if I remember the name correctly, about finding 2 areas where the township stops mowing. It's actually not so easy because mowing is easier than non-mowing, as I learned. But we can take it up again because we basically agreed on an area in the Willows Park and one at the Radnor Dog Park.
This conversation is going on
Yeah.
right now between Tammy and Ricky, because they're wanting to cut back because they're overworked, the public works, and so they
Good.
want to see if they can mow less.
Okay.
So, I will.
I support it.
I will let Tammy and Ricky know that EAC is really excited about this idea. Okay. New business, perennial seed library. Carol, can you give us a quick update?
Yes, Angela and I met, and Kathy, met with the Joyce Platfoot, who is the librarian at Radnor Library, and one of her staff members, and they're very interested. Actually, this is something they've been wanting to do for a number of years. So they were extremely excited. And Gay, who is one of the staff members, had a wealth of information that she's been collecting. So we're meeting with them again next Wednesday to talk about moving forward. But I think it'll move forward. It's just a matter, they had to, present it to some of their staff, and
Okay.
they may even have, you may not even have to build the table. They weren't sure about that. They may have something that we can put it in, but I'll have more information after next week's meeting.
Okay, great. And I sent you and Sven sources for seeds in case you needed some
Thank you.
earned seeds in
Thanks.
Arca Wild.
Thanks.
Okay. Garden and Nature Club at Ithan Elementary School. Bess?
Sure. Yes. Hi, Mira. And I'm going to point to Mira in the audience there. So parent volunteer Mira Shapiro has worked with Ithan Elementary and its PTO to secure a location for an outdoor classroom, which is very exciting, in conjunction with the new building that's getting worked on at this moment on the Ithan Elementary campus. So Mira and the PTO and Ithan Elementary are looking to design a flexible gardening space that could be moved if need be. So, and then Mira has also been able to get a spot in the after-school program this spring, which is no small feat. Mira is part of the Skunk Hollow Community Garden and is working with Francis DeRoos, who is the director of the Skunk Hollow Community Garden, and for them to see how Ithan Elementary and the Skunk Hollow could collaborate. So I think that's accurate. And then one last point, and then if Mara, if you could come up. So I'm also working with Wayne Elementary, the principal, Dr. Marzano, who was a former environmental science high school teacher, to look to see where we can also put an outdoor classroom. So this is sort of piggybacking on the Ithan Elementary efforts. All right, so Mira, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
Come up, Mira, please. Oh. As Mira comes up, go ahead, come on. We're just finishing the EAC meeting, and then the presentation will start shortly, so please
Yeah,
just,
we're gonna
you
have to
can
condense
welcome
everything.
yourself to a seat. Thank you.
Hi, Mira Shapiro. Thank you for including this in today's meeting. I really appreciate that. Yes, all of those things, yes. And I'm really actually grateful to be bringing this into the EAC because as Ithan begins to embark on the construction project, I really am looking for advocacy and voices and education to collaborate with the school so that when they're beginning to design the outside of the school, that there will be advocacy around outdoor education. So my hope is that this little garden club, I can document it, I can bring all of the benefits that are happening for these children in real time to the community. And then, so there will be, these real results that when we're talking about designing those outdoor spaces, we can say, okay, how can we incorporate curriculum of nature and gardening for future programming and the design. So I'm hoping by bringing this with the EAC, there will be some community-wide advocacy for that as well.
Thank you.
I would
Yes.
love to be part of this conversation, Bess. I have children at Radnor Elementary, which hasn't been covered yet, as well as the middle school in the watershed program, which could be very helpful too. So I would love to be looped in. Radnor already has an outdoor classroom that was installed a year or so ago, I think. So this could be, something that they might be interested in too. I'd be willing to help be the liaison for the elementary school there.
Great. Wonderful.
Okay. Thank you. Sven, I'm also hearing you're standing by if the Ithan Elementary School needs seeds or plants, you can direct them to a source.
You're welcome.
Yep, thank you.
Already being assigned jobs.
Aronimink Golf Club, clear cutting of 9 acres. It is going to go through, folks. They're going to clear cut 9 acres to make a temporary parking lot for the PGA tournament in 2026. So our concern is because this 9 acres is on sloping ground, it slopes towards the headwaters of Darby Creek, which flows into Skunk Hollow. They are installing 3 catchment basins on the property to catch the runoff. But the thing is, they're basically grubbing the land, which means ripping out the roots of everything that grows there. So it's going to be bare ground, mostly subsoil. And you get a torrential downpour, you're going to get erosion and sediment-filled water going down slope and filling those ponds and then overflowing them and going into Darby Creek. So presently, Roberta Winters and the League of Women Voters has written a letter to the supervisors of Newtown Township and also Radnor Conservancy. So they are aware that this is a potential hazard. What I'd like to do is I'm going to plan a field trip to Skunk Hollow to get some baseline pictures of the stream coming off the hillside, that on top of which is where this cleared 9 acres will be, so that if we have a torrential downpour, we can go after the downpour or shortly afterward and see what has happened and hopefully not catch any evidence of severe flooding and sedimentation.
Dan, is there no other option? I mean, there's
No.
flat, nothing?
They are not accepting using a parking lot from a 1962 PGA tournament because the electronic equipment and the personalities involved in broadcasting has grown in number and complexity. So off-site parking of the 30 tractor trailers with all this equipment is not an option.
Hi, yes, I'm just now starting to get involved with the Willistown Conservation Trust. I know they're doing a water testing program that has been along that watershed, and they've been doing it for a long time. So I'm wondering if we could collaborate with them in terms of just getting some data
Yes.
of, hey, this is something that's been going on for a long time, and we're concerned about the effects that will have on the watershed.
Mara, do you have a contact there?
Yes,
do they
I
know
do.
you?
Yes, I'm just now got the approval to train as a water tester there. So.
Okay, wonderful.
And I think I'm going to be in a meeting with the volunteers tomorrow night.
I mean, can I action a private citizen? Thank you, Meredith.
What would you like me to do?
Well, in conjunction with this field trip, I think if we have some data on the water quality of the water specifically going into Skunk Hollow, if they have that, or we get samples, and they can be taken multiple times across the seasons.
What's the time frame we have?
Well, they're starting supposedly construction or clear cutting of this land in the spring, so things could happen fast. Though I hope they're not going to do it until the weather's nice so we can do our field trip.
Just for the record, in the last 60 seconds we have, this is the second time we have had to write and express our concern about construction near waterways in Newtown Township in maybe the past 12 months.
That's right.
So if you live there, help us.
May I add, I'm also a member of the Willistown Conservation Trust, and I've done the water samples and the testing for I think 2
Okay.
years now.
Get together with Mira
Yeah,
Hayden. Okay.
I have the data from last year in my
Look
email,
at
I'm
that.
pretty sure.
Wonderful.
I could message Lauren, who's the head of the chapter as well, unless Mira, you want to. I would prefer it if you did, since I'm just getting started. Oh, okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I could message Lauren.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Darby Creek Valley Association is really also involved in this
Yeah.
matter and aware, and I would definitely reach out to them, especially if you are wanting data on creek monitoring. I would touch base with them because they know, they know that creek amazingly, and they probably have some data for you already, potential baseline, because I know we're site captains for the cleanup in Skunk Hollow every year, so that's definitely a site that's on their radar along the creek.
Okay.
They were involved, and they wrote a letter as well, so it's not going to be a surprise ask.
Are you
And then
actioning yourself, or you want me to do it?
I am happy to connect you with DCVA if you want, absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Just introductory email. and-
Yeah, totally.
Thank you,
Yes, no
Andrew.
problem, Dan.
Okay.
We have to adjourn.
Okay, recycling and waste management in Radnor Township. We're just watching a grant that was submitted, application that was sent in December to the U.S. EPA for funding a county composting facility and permanent household hazardous waste collection building for the township, for the county. So maybe Rebecca Yurkovich could talk to that in a minute. Use of generation of electricity for solar and wind energy. This is something I've done. I've purchased renewable electricity credits where you can purchase from a off-site wind or solar farm electricity. I'm asking the EAC to comment on the usefulness of broadcasting that option to the township community about that, because I know there are some people who don't think it's a good solution. So I would ask people here to do some research on RECs, renewable energy credits. There are no ones that you can get for Pennsylvania windmill or wind and solar farms, which I hear are more expensive, but maybe more bona fide than ones where you purchase it from Texas or somewhere else. Maintenance of rain gardens in the township. I know, Amber, you've been involved with this, and I just want to let everyone know that Tammy, Amber, and Laura Luker, between Parks and Rec and the Radnor Conservancy, are going to get together, and I'm also asking if the League of Women Voters are interested in working together to organize a long-term volunteer maintenance program for these rain gardens. They have fallen in disrepair, and they're going to be repaired by Parks and Rec this spring, but now we're going to need the residents of this township to look after these rain gardens for years and years to come. So we need to brainstorm how to do this. So if League of Women Voters are interested, please let me know. Otherwise, I will update you all as to the Zoom call we will be having. Another thing is we need to design a Radnor EAC logo. So some of the artists and graphics people here.
We have one that we just need to all agree on. I
Okay.
can bring them next time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Filling EAC vacancies. Unfortunately, Eugenia left and as a result of her being promoted to vice chair of the Shade Commission. She originated the whole EAC lecture series over a year ago, and we're much indebted to her for that. Now that leaves 2 vacancies that hopefully will be filled as soon as February 24th, when the Board of Commissioners votes to approve Sven Dethlef's candidacy, as well as Aaron Minez candidacy. So we'll see. Other new business, the budget is fine. We're currently have $3,275. It's our starting amount in January, so we're in good shape. Next meeting will be March 19th at 6 p.m. with Jennifer Santero of Villanova University speaking after our meeting at 7 p.m. Okay.
If I can just add one thing, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So I just had to run it through a few checks before I told you. The township has been testing that water for 3 years, so we have a lot of data.
Okay.
I just want to tell you, at Skunk Hollow. So I just had to put that through a few checks before
That's
I
good.
told you. So we have a lot of data about the water quality.
Okay,
Where can
and-
we get that? Can you
I'll
send
get
that
it.
to us? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a person, I will get it for you.
And,
Thank you.
and the sampling sites too, because it's sediment settles out. And, okay.
I'll
But
get you the
thank
reports.
Thank you for
Okay.
that, Kathy. All right, motion to adjourn. And go back to the audience so we can hear our
Motion
lecturer.
approved.
Second.
Thanks,
Second,
Carol.
okay. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience. We'll give you just a minute and you can